everyone. I have just recently finished my latest medals video that I posted just a few days ago, and I'm probably going to hold off on posting this one. I don't really like to go one day kind of thing. I don't really have quite enough to talk about to go day by day, but I just got in the mail a piece of art that I ordered and was doing some time payments on. And that, along with another piece which I already had, are my most expensive pieces, which in the art world, these are not that expensive at all. But also two of my favorite pieces for different reasons, but also one big same reason. Both of these pages are penciled by Phil Jimenez. This one here is from Robin, issue 13, and it's page number 12. This is from the end of the Prodigal arc, which is after Batman gets his back broken, and he goes on sabbatical to fix himself, leaves Gotham in the less than capable hands of Jean-Paul Valley, which he then turns Batman into almost like some type of semi-assassin, vigilante, like extreme type thing. And instead of asking what I would consider to be the logical replacement, Dick Grayson, the original Robin, he gives it to Jean-Paul Valley. And so in this particular page, this is near the end of the arc, and Dick Grayson is in the Bat costume, and he and Bruce are arguing about that whole thing about, you know, you could have just picked up the phone and given me a call and I would have taken care of everything, but instead you chose some stranger, some psycho, to take up the mantle of the Bat, and kind of like, how'd that work out? But I have seen this page before at the website which I purchased it at, but I kind of wasn't ready to spend the money. And again, when I say spend the money, it's one of those, what price do you put on something that isn't a mortgage payment or an education or something of that nature? This is collectible stuff. This is luxury and then some. Total, I want to have it, not I have to have it. And so everybody puts, be it a baseball card or a comic book or a page of art or any other thing they collect or like, you put an amount of comfort on something, and sometimes you go over and a lot of times you don't. This is kind of right at the edge for me. Not that big of a deal. It's way under 500. So I've seen people spend thousands, tens of thousands on older art pages, and you know, that would basically eat up every piece of spare change I have, and I'm not doing that. But the thing is, I like Phil Jimenez as an artist, and from what I know, I've met him several times, and from the people that I talk to, I would also like him as a person. He just seems like such a nice guy, very fan-friendly, and a very capable and talented artist. Here we have this, what we'd call a hat splash, which is one larger image that covers, in this case, about half the page. And it's a wonderfully detailed piece of the Batcave and all the little things that Bruce/Batman has collected, I guess. He's a collector as well. He has a giant penny in the Batcave. I don't know the actual story behind that. He has a dinosaur. I, again, don't know the story behind that. He has, and somewhere in here, and I don't think you see it, he has Jason Todd's, which is the second Robin. He has his costume in here as a memorial. And it's not in this particular piece, but he's got a Joker card. We all know what that's all about. But it's wonderfully detailed. You can see all the cave wall ceiling type stuff. It's just great stuff. Phil does a great job, and he also does a great job on faces. It's not just about being able to draw a dinosaur or you know, a half a penny. He does great faces and great expressions. He's a detailed artist. I was, not to be name dropping, I was spending a little time with a friend of a friend the other day, Jerry Ordway, who's an artist, a wonderful artist in his own right, and also a very nice guy. And I happened to mention a page I just got from Phil, and the first thing he said, he goes, "You're never going to lose with Phil's detailed pages." So it's one of those things. People know Phil's a quality artist. But so Bruce and Dick are arguing about all the stuff that say Bruce didn't do. He didn't call Dick. He didn't even give him an opportunity, and all that other stuff. And just a great page. I kind of held off for a year or so, and then I decided to pull the trigger. You know, you get a good overtime week here and there, and you figure, what the heck, you just spend a little money. But so this is penciled by Phil Jimenez, and it is inked by Ray Krissing. I believe that's the correct pronunciation. I got it from Will's Comic Art pages, and a very pleasant experience with him. Allowed me to do some time payments, and so that was a good experience, and I'm sure I'll go back to him at some point. And this is fully inked over pencils. It's not today's version of Blue Line and then inks over that. So this is the only page out there of this. There might be a smaller color guide version, but that's a piece of paper, and it's not specifically considered original art. And it has the lettering is on the page. It's not a stat or a sticker, except for right here, this Liberty piece right here. It's a little bit of a paste on, but everything else is right on the page. It's quality piece of art in my book. Now the other one I had to add on is also a Phil Jimenez page, and I feel, as much as I'd love to have a Batman splash, Phil Batman splash, I don't know if that's going to be in the cards. But since I'm my first love, I gravitate towards Spider-Man first, and I just really enjoy the Bat family. I happen to get a hold of this, which was also very reasonable in my opinion. This is from the Spider-Man Free Comic Book Day giveaway from 2007. Also penciled by Phil, inked over by John Dell, signed by John Dell. And the next time I see Phil at a show, I'll have him sign the art. This Batman piece is signed. Definitely an older Phil Jimenez signature. I have many of his current signatures, and they're a little more rushed because he does so much for fans at a show. He's got to kind of get through it a lot. But this is a beautiful action page. Also, I'll give it a half splash. I mean, if you want to kind of pinch it down, you can call it a third splash, but I think it's more than a third. A really good quality Spider-Man piece. What you have is you have villains getting away in a car. Spidey comes over, lands on the hood of the car, puts his fist right through the windshield, and the cops are behind the car, because you can see Spidey here. He's on the hood, and they're right behind him, and they're witnessing everything going down. And of course, this is the bad guy staring right at it. Spidey rips the roof off the car on this page. So I'm guessing he's a little angry. The plot of the book, and Free Comic Book Day happens every year in the spring. They put out a bunch of free books, just like it says, to get kids, new readers into the whole thing. And this was an Amazing Spider-Man Free Comic Book Day giveaway. All original art, no reprints, anything. This is fresh art. And he's trying to get to Aunt May's birthday party, apparently, and he just can't get away from the crime and the criminals. And so he's just trying to get from one place to another, and he keeps running into this stuff. Such is the life of Spider-Man with the Parker luck. So this is penciled by Phil and inked by John Dell. Two quality additions to my pages. This is a new one. This I've had for probably a year or so anyway. I don't plan to ever part with either of these. This is kind of right in my wheelhouse, where I have and I've said it before, this is all about action, whereas this one's all about interaction. And I appreciate interaction as much as action. Most people go for big splash pages, big action pages, fight pages, the whole thing. These are important. These are more important to the story than this is. Even though, and this is a newer piece and it doesn't have the lettering on it, I accept that, but it is ink over pencil. This is Phil's pencils, John Dell's inks on one piece. But like I said, I mean, this type of page is more important to the story because they're interacting. They're moving the story along. This is a great action page, but it moves the story along in the course of 10 seconds. This is a conversation. They're hashing things out. They're digging deep. They're beating each other up verbally. So, without too much babbling, I'm going to end this now. And I hope you consider watching my other videos. I have other art videos as well as metals videos. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you listening. And I hope you come back. Have a good day.